Alright, so what is good YouTube? In today's video, I want to speak about the best underground rappers from each year. I'm going to be starting with 2020 to 2025 and I might make a prediction for who I think might be the best underground rapper in 2026. Just a little prediction, but this video, it will have honorable mentions for people I think had a good year in one of those years, but personally, I don't think they were the best. And this is no hate to any artist. This is just my opinion, but yeah, let's hop straight into this video. Alright, so the first time period I have for today's video is 2020, and the artist I will be putting here is Soulfigo. He was dropping straight classics like Angelic 7, After Me, and much more. He had hit songs like Knock Knock, Off the Map, and much more as well. In my opinion, I do think he was the best artist in 2020. The only close contenders I can see you making a argument for it is probably somebody in Slay World, probably like Autumn or Summers or some shit like that. But even then, Soulfigo made a diss track on him and he completely washed him in my opinion. But in 2025, Soulfigo is kind of declined from where he was in 2020. In my personal opinion, I know he just dropped the album that people really do like, but I personally didn't really rock with the album. It's just not my cup of tea. Alright, but yeah, that's gonna be it for 2020. Let's move on to the next year, which is 2021. Alright, so the next time period I want to speak about in today's video is 2021, and the artist I have for 2021 is Yeats. And obviously, it's undeniable Yeats' greatness in 2021. He was dropping straight classics like Up to Me, To Alive, To Alive Geek Pack, hella more classics during this time period. Even though the 2021 underground was stacked as we know it, it was probably the pinnacle of the underground. I feel like it was a pretty easy choice to pick Yeet. In my opinion, I do think Yeet had the best growth and probably the best music out of anybody in 2021 in the underground, which played a huge factor for me putting him on this list. Overall, that's going to be it for the 2021 time period in the underground. Let's move on to the next time period. Alright, so the next time period I will be doing for today's video is 2022, and the artist I will be putting here is Ken Carson and Destroy Lonely. I feel like they both had big years in 2022 because Ken Carson, he dropped his album X and Extended, and Lone, he dropped his album No Stylist, which is a underground classic. Both of them are. I know I'm not supposed to be putting two artists in the same year, but I feel like I have to put them there just for the simple fact these albums they dropped in this year simply changed the structure of the underground. Another reason why I'm putting two artists in the same year is just for the simple fact that I feel like Ken Carson deserves to be on the list at least one time because I know he dropped his best work in 2023 with A Great Chaos, but I feel like the artist I'm about to talk about next is supposed to be there for 2023. So yeah. Overall, that's going to be it for the 2022 segment. Let's move on to the next year. Alright, so the next time period I want to speak about in today's video is 2023, and the artist I have for 2023 is Osama Sun. And obviously, I feel like we all should know Osama Sun was going to be here in 2023 because I feel like he had the best year, the best growth, and the best music. He had dropped Osama Season and he dropped Flex Music during these years. The only people I can see you making an argument for during this time period is Shay, Swappa, Yabo JJ, and Netspin. But I feel like everybody will agree with me when I say Netspin was probably the best artist in the underground in 2023. And I don't count Ken Carson because I feel like after A Great Chaos he became mainstream, and I'm not counting that album because I feel like that's where he became mainstream. So yeah. Also, majority of the songs off of Flex Music and Osama Season still hold up to this day, and I still feel like some of them are still some of his best songs to this day. So yeah. Alright, but that's gonna be it for 2023. Let's move on to the next time period. Alright, so the next time period I will be discussing in today's video is 2024, and the artist I have for 2024 is Shay. And Shay had a humongous year in 2024 with dropping Say So Says, and a lot of artists did have a good year like 1AM, Osana, Protect, Netspin, and Laserdem all had amazing huge years in 2024, but I feel like Shay had the most consistent year in 2024, and I have to give it to Shay, with a close second being Netspin because he had a crazy project with BFAK, and that project was so good, and it made it to my top two projects this year. Last year, I feel like Say So Says was probably my favorite project of 2024. Also, I forgot to mention, Osama Sudden did drop a deluxe project to Flex Music during this year, early in the year. Overall, that's going to be it for 2024. Let's move on to the next time period. Alright, so the next time period I will be talking about in today's video is 2025, and the artist I have for 2025 is Non Vicious. Obviously, he's been my favorite artist for the whole entire year. I've been stating that in my videos. But a close second will be Prada Bag Shorty. I feel like he had an amazing year in 2025. He dropped hella classics, and I've been bumping Prada Bag Shorty hella recently. I'm not gonna lie, looking back in 2025, we're gonna realize 2025 was low-key a crazy year because we had people like Osama Sun, Protect, Shay, 1 a.m., even Prada Bag Shorty all dropped albums, and all those albums sounded good. Even Xavier So Bass and Netspin, they dropped a little EP. Overall, I feel like 2025 was a great year for the underground. There was a lot of good music dropped in this year, and a lot of new upcoming artists that came around in this year. So yeah. Alright, let's move on to the final year I want to speak about in today's video. Alright, so the final year I want to speak about in today's video is 2026, and I know we're not in 2026 yet, even though when I'm recording this video it's December something. We're close to 2026. I just want to give a little prediction for who I think will be the best underground artist in 2026, and in my opinion, it has to be Rex V2. If I had to put my money on it, it would probably be Rex V2. He dropped two amazing projects in the year 2025, and he's been going crazy even before that. I've been tapped in with Rex since 2024, like mid 2024, and genuinely right now he's been doing super crazy. He's probably one of my favorite underground artists right now. And in 2026, I feel like will be the year for him, and he might take over as the best underground artist in 2026. The only reason why I'm a little hesitant to put him there is just because there's always a new artist that comes out and just surprises everybody, and they're still in the spotlight. Same way like Prada Bag Shorty did this year, and Non Vicious, they kind of stole the spotlight from other underground artists this year. And it might happen in 2026, so who knows. Alright, so yeah, that's my prediction for who I think will be the best artist in 2026. So let's move on. Overall, that's gonna be the end of today's video. If y'all did enjoy the video, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know how y'all like the video, the new editing style. I'm gonna see y'all niggas in the next video. Peace out.